All right. Welcome in. It's that time of the year. It's that time of the year. I smell not cherry blossoms, not spring, but March Madness, baby. Let's go. Can we get just a random applause real quick? Let's go. This is
Let's
my
go.
favorite time of the year, March Madness. I love the NBA. Don't get me wrong, love NFL. But there's just something watching these young men play their hearts out and really, put it all on that center stage. Some may be playing the game after, some won't. Some may be going overseas. Some may be the next LeBron. Who knows? But this is going to be the breakdown. So let's go ahead and go over the bracket and how to set your perfect guide. So a few things I have when building your brackets. When building your brackets, you have to have a strategy. Now, what trends should you follow? There is no true mid major made past round two last year. So look at the mid majors. None of those get past round two. So if you're looking at any of those mid tier teams, screw them. Throw them in the garbage. Throw them in the garbage. It's either studs or duds that make it to the Elite Eight or the Final Four. Also, another one, the number one seed has won the last 6 of 7 tournaments. So if you go out there, you're just choosing all the bracket busters, you think it's going to be the Cinderellas, um, you got to have at least one or two of those number one, number two teams in the Final Four. 6 out of 7 tournaments, guys. So listen to those stats. Also, next is the decline of the conference strength. ACC, no, usually known for the strongest conference in college basketball, but this year they're not as strong. Okay, so I'll kind of dive into that a little bit more as we go into it. So let's start to break this down. So we're gonna go into a few regional breakdowns. We're gonna go into particularly the South. We're gonna go into the West, and then we'll kind of break down into Final Four. Championship predictions. And I'll let the guys chime in if they want. If not, that's totally fine. But also before we go in,
Uh-oh.
What do we got here?
North Carolina.
North Carolina, of course, dude.
woo!
We could the jump
Let's
the tracksuit gave it
go!
away.
Let's go!
Let's go.
We made it in, baby.
The
Where was
play-in.
that? Did
Oh,
you guys
did you win the
wait?
play-in?
Yeah, did you hear about that though? The selection
No.
Sunday?
What
Mm-mm.
Okay, so
happened?
let me educate you
Yes,
guys.
please, please, please.
So, the who is it? The president or let me get the guy's name because I don't want to butcher it. Uh,
Got my D Wade Marquette jersey. I'll let you know about that.
Yeah.
Marquette made it too.
yeah, Marquette did
Double checking before I
squeak
put this on.
in.
I like
um,
yeah, there's some pretty there's did you guys see that real quick the coming to
uh-huh.
Seattle? A couple games this weekend, I believe. Oh no, is it
Oh,
this weekend?
nice.
Tickets are expensive though. They're like $300.
Is that Climate
Yeah.
Pledge?
Yeah. Yep.
Of
I
course.
think like Arizona's playing. Oh.
Yes. Okay. So it was the NCAA committee vice chair, Bubba Cunningham. He's the director of athletics over at University of Carolina. So he has a little bit of sway with, the selection committee. So a lot of people are mad because UNC not only did they make it, but um, this guy, Bubba Cunningham, the athletic director, he got like 100 million or something crazy. Got like $100 million bonus. It was in his contract if he makes it to the NCAA, you know, March Madness tournament. So a lot of controversy around like, hey, like whose pockets are you paying or whose ear are
Yeah.
you in? Because you guys know I'm a North
Interesting.
Carolina fan, but we had no business being in the tournament this year. Like compared to other teams, we had no business. We went 22-13, like, and as you guys know, in the competitive space, like you cannot lose more than about 5 games. So it was very, very crazy to see them get in. It definitely kind of showed some favoritism and some politics around it. So there's a lot of controversy around it, but we still made it in, baby. We still made it in. And are we going to win, fellas? I don't know.
No. Houston.
Well, let's bring it back home real quick.
So
Oh
you got
my
Houston
Let's
taking
bring it back
all the
home
way.
real quick.
You got something else?
Let's bring it back home,
Oh my
Gonzaga.
God.
Let's go. Okay,
Oh man.
let's talk about the Zags because people forget about the Zags. Mark Feud, Olympic coach, multiple wins, championships under his belt. He's been doing it for years. You cannot forget about the Zags. It feels weird to say this, but these guys are my sleeper team. I think they're gonna reach Elite Eight, Final Four, maybe. But they've been a little bit shaky throughout the year. But when you have an excellent coach like Mark Feud that's been there numerous times, you cannot count them out. So let's go ahead and put that as my sleeper team, which sounds weird to say for Gonzaga. All right. So let's go
They're in
into
the
this.
right part of the bracket. I'll just say that. I feel like
Yeah.
Tennessee and Houston are not a strong 1 and 2.
No. So it's possible.
That's hate.
It's possible.
That's hate, Gray.
Ooh.
I mean, just look at the other 1 and 2s. Duke, Auburn,
Yeah.
2 best players in the country.
Cooper just got hurt, right?
Yeah.
You got a
exactly.
scrappy, nasty St. John team down in San Francisco portion.
No, you gotta look out for the fun teams. The what's SIU Edwardsville going against Houston.
God.
Let's go, baby. That's what I love. We'll keep
The
it going.
one
Say my bad. We got a little sidetracked.
No, you're good. I love it. This is what it's about. Okay, so we'll go into the South region real quick. So let's see. South region, we got Michigan at San Diego State. Wolverines are huge. Like they just have like huge size, and not only that, but they are very quick. So I'm gonna go with Michigan on that one. One team to also look out for, and they do it every year. Creighton. I don't know, a few years ago, if you guys have watched Creighton when his son played there, McDermott. So it was cool to watch that father and son duo, and that's what really made me to start watching Creighton. But every year, like they do a great job. They're great at rebounding. They're good at slowing down the ball and making it their own pace. So I'm gonna go with Creighton. They're very close in the seeds. I think they're only one apart, 8 and 9, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna go with Creighton on that one. And then another one to kind of look out for as well too is Iowa State. Iowa State is killing it this year as well too. Very, very young, fast. They get off the break. They're going to score a lot of fast buckets on you. So Iowa State, I think they'll make it to the Elite Eight. So that's going to be a team to really keep your eye out on as well. And then let's go to the West region real quick. So Florida number 1 seed, crazy team. I was watching their game last weekend. They're huge too. They have some Twin Towers, and not only that, but their guards are crazy electric. Like their 1 and 2 is crazy. So I actually have Florida in my Final Four. So watch Florida. They're fun team to watch.
Yeah, I actually was watching I think it was Florida, whoever they played. I think it was this past weekend. I was watching that game at the barbershop.
The
They're pretty
SEC
fun.
championship.
Yeah, dude. They got they're fun players, man. What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
UConn?
Dude, like UConn reminds me like Gonzaga. Like you can't count them out. They've won
Yeah.
multiple times. So I would definitely put UConn in I would say the Elite Eight for sure. Possibly Final Four. You just can't count out UConn. You can't.
I have Oklahoma bouncing them in the first round.
Oh really? Can we speak upon
Yeah.
that, Dre? Why'd you do that?
Their guard Jeremiah Fears, I believe, is like a top 10 pick.
Yes.
With
Yes.
potential to be a top 10 pick. And yeah, what I'll get into like my little part of bracketology when you're done. But yeah, I had Oklahoma bouncing them, so just to
That's interesting. I can't wait to hear that because that is very interesting. Um, in the West, I have a Cinderella. And I also am putting them in the Final Four. Drake, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put Drake in there, man. I don't know. Have you guys got to watch Drake play this
No, no,
season?
no, no. I just I saw him take a lot of L's last year, but not too
Yeah,
many this. No, I'm just
they're,
kidding. No,
they're the 11th seed, right? But I have they're like 33-3. I have them going like all the way as well.
yeah.
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh,
Because like
that
3
what?
games like that, you can't like not look on paper and be like they only lost 3 games. What the hell?
Bro, that's what I was
Uh,
talking about with Houston and Dre was like, I have
ah,
I have them losing.
It's different
I
though when you have the expectation versus when you don't. 11th seed has no expectation.
They're the 11th seed.
Yeah,
Oh my
Houston
God.
is the 1 seed with a lot of expectation.
Right, but they battle tested. All you need
yeah.
is a senior point guard. You can make it far in the tournament for your starter.
For sure.
Keep going, tag
Also
me.
one yeah. One thing too, is in the West, Arkansas versus Kansas. I think Arkansas is gonna do pretty well. Of course, they have amazing coach over there, Calipari. And I don't know if you guys know, but how the brackets work out as well too. Calipari and Patino, Rick Pitino might play each other, and their history goes, all the way back to the Kentucky, and Louisville days where they really did not like each other. So I'm hoping the brackets work out to where they can meet each other, because that's going to be a crazy game. Yeah, St. John's actually having a really good season as well too, and I believe they're 30-4, which is nuts. So to see them kind of play each other, that would be very interesting. And Arkansas also, at second round they would play each other actually. So that would be very interesting. And then also Rick Pitino's son, he could actually play against his son as well too in the championship if the brackets work out right. I think they would have to make it to like the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 for them to meet. But that would be very interesting as well too. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. So that's my West region breakdown, and then we'll jump to
Really quick, I just want to
yeah.
say it's a shame we don't get to see Ace Bailey in the tournament. It's one of
I
my favorite players.
know.
Or
Yes.
Dylan Harper, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like I said, I pointed it out. There's 2 people that are playing in the NBA right now. They're not prominent, but they got their nice roles on their teams. Isaiah Stewart, Jaden McDaniels played on UW a few years back. 5 stars coming out of high school,
Yes.
all pros, like pro players, and we might have almost lost more games than we won here. So
I know. Yeah, I was gonna say I think UW finished first and last in the Big Ten, which is bad, So
ouch.
yeah, it hurt. Um, all right, let's see. Let's go back to closing thoughts. So we want to hear your guys' final four predictions, championship predictions from you guys. So drop us a like, a comment, subscribe, shoot us a message in our inbox. And we'll kind of review it throughout these next few weeks to see what unfolds. And then I'll go kind of jump into my final four and championship predictions. I feel like I said a lot of Final Fours, but I'm gonna go with Florida, and Auburn. And then I'm actually gonna change it up. I'm gonna go Duke, and Dre, I'm gonna go Houston though too. I agree with the Joe on Houston. Houston's tough. So they're just offensive juggernaut. Like I was watching them a few weeks ago, and they were just down by like 20, and they just kept shooting threes. So they make their threes very well and very high percentage in their 3 points. So that's why I put Houston in there. I think their offensive game is crazy. But to watch them go against Duke will be very interesting as well. It depends on Coop. We don't really know how healthy he is. I think they can get up to the Elite Eight before they'll start needing him. But they'll definitely need him in the championship round. So I want to see their strategy on keeping him out, maybe the first 2 rounds, and then seeing how he comes back from that injury. I think that's gonna play a lot. And then with the Auburn and Florida game, Auburn has what's his name? Sears. His last name is Sears. Mark Sears. Crazy. He's dope to watch. Very, very electric. He could shoot the 3 ball as well too, and he'll slap that wood to no homo, slap that wood to play some defense as well. So yeah. I think it's gonna be great. But winning the championship.
Oh god.
How much shirts do I have under? We're gonna go with.
Bro, how'd you fit into all those mediums?
Oh no.
Who is it? Is it
We're
fucking
gonna
Florida?
go with
Oh my
Florida.
god.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Gators, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, I just think
Tayson, I've
Florida.
always wanted to make my decision on where I was going. So this is
Exactly. Yeah.
sorry.
No, but I just think Florida just is the most well-rounded team, offensively, defensively. Very fun to watch. So I'm gonna go with Florida. That's my prediction this year, fellas. And that's all you have for Tay's Crazy March Madness.
Let
That was
me chime
lovely,
in,
man.
man. Let me chime in.
Yeah, I want to
That's
hear what
lovely.
your guys' thoughts. Let's go.
Yeah.
So,
Trey, you go first. I'm gonna let my dog out real quick.
All right. Well, all I was gonna say. So, like when I don't. I watch just enough. I know about the top 10, top 15 prospects that are coming in, and because I like to know about that. I like to know who's going to be good. I like the
Collecting
young
cards too.
teams in the NBA, so I know about them, right? But I don't watch any college basketball unless UW's good, right? So I'll be honest, I don't know. I do know Cooper Flagg's a monster. Okay.
Oh my God.
I have heard that, and I know that, and I've seen that with my own 2 eyes. I've seen some highlights, some film, right? I'll just go straight into my Final Four and maybe even backtrack from there and show you how I got there. But
Let's go.
it's almost never chalk, okay? Especially if it's this wide open. If you don't have like these ultra dominant teams, it's almost never chalk, right? So we're not going to see 4 1 seeds, I don't think. You might see 2 or 3. I don't think you're seeing 4 total 1 seeds in there. Sorry to break it to you, Tay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not trying to be mean, not trying to be rude.
No, go ahead.
That's just the way I see it.
But
So
I
went,
believe that happened last year, though. Sorry to cut you off, Trey. I believe there was like 4 number 1 seeds last year.
Yeah.
Every now and then, yes, but it's just normally
More often than not.
Like, okay.
All right, that's just
Remember those mid tiers? What I was saying about the mid tiers.
Yeah, they're fun when it gets down to it.
I went with Auburn.
Like it.
Kansas.
Oh.
Auburn versus Kansas.
And
I went Duke.
Yes.
Versus Kentucky.
Okay.
Explain the got a 1 versus 7 and a 1 versus 3 here. You still got 2 1s in there. And those are the 2 most prominent ones. Those are the 2 ones that deserve to make it to the championship, in my opinion. I broke it down. I had Drake going all the way, and I actually reframed. I had Kansas beating Drake, and then Kansas going on and beating Florida as well. Nice. Kansas has a nice big man. I think his last name's like Dickerson.
Yes. Yeah.
So I could see but yeah, part of my bracketology, what I go with, because I don't watch, I go with the strength of schedule, all those, the rankings, right? I look at all that, and then I base it off of their 3-point percentage mixed with all those other numbers, mixed with, hey, do they have like a premier player in mind? A draftable player, a top 10, top 15 guy. All those things seem to matter in my opinion over the years of watching. So maybe not making it all the way, maybe not winning it, but like breaking down the bracket, get into the top 16, the Elite Eight, right? Sweet 16. So yeah, I had Drake going, but then I refrained, and I like you said, they probably won't go too far, but they'll win a game or two, I feel like, and
Yeah, yeah.
then Kansas is gonna stump them. I had Alabama going all the way up against Duke, but Duke just edges them out, gets there. I had BYU making it pretty far because BYU shoots good from the three.
Yes, always.
And then I had Purdue versus Kentucky, and I just think this is probably the least talented team produced over the last 5 years. So
Yeah, it's weird.
Kentucky,
Zach Edey got out, and yeah,
and I could put Houston there, but again, I feel like Houston maybe wins 1 or 2 games. I feel like they have to like squeak past Gonzaga. I feel like that's going to already hurt them, and then they meet Purdue, and Purdue just beats them, right? Like that's kind of how I saw that shake out. Lastly, I got Michigan State going all the way up against Auburn. I had Yale going pretty deep. I had Yale getting to the Elite Eight. And I got the play-in going in the Elite Eight in that bracket as well, which I think
Ivy League
would
to
be
the Elite, Ivy League to the Elite Eight. Nice.
yeah. So
I like that. That's great. Great observation, Dre. What about that Kentucky though? I'm really interested in that Kentucky.
where I got that from,
Uh-huh.
that part, like I said, to me, that's the weakest part of the bracket. I got the 3
Yeah.
and the 4 seed making it to the Elite Eight. To see who goes on to the Final Four, and I just had Kentucky beating out Purdue there. That's all.
Nice. I like that, Dre. What you got, Joe?
I'll do a Final Four.
Yeah.
I got Michigan State.
Oh, Michigan State is nice.
Yeah, I don't think Auburn. I don't like Auburn, to be honest. Never have, never will. And then we'll go Florida. We'll go Florida. I think Florida they ran through a gauntlet with the SEC tournament. So I think they're gonna clean house against Michigan State. So they're gonna be in the finals. Okay, and then I'll do. I also like Alabama, but Duke, depending on health, like I think that's going to be a big thing to keep an eye on. Cooper Flag. Yeah, but I'll rock with Duke. Why not? Why not? And then give me Houston. But I have them going up against Tennessee. I don't believe in all that bullshit Dre was talking about. And I think Houston's gonna make it to the Final Four because I think they're pretty solid. And then I think Duke's
Yeah.
gonna beat them. And then I do think it's gonna be Duke and Florida in the finals. And
Nice.
then
I like that.
you went Florida, I'll go Duke, but I wouldn't be surprised if Florida won.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't say I have Duke Auburn, and I have Duke winning. Just to throw that out
Duke
there.
winning.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it comes down to like you guys said, can Coop just stay healthy?
Yeah. But to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost though. Like Duke hasn't really. I don't know if they've been like looking. I don't know. Every time I've watched them, they haven't looked like super dominant. You know what I mean? But maybe I just watched the wrong games.
Yeah.
I'm not
mean,
too tapped into it, to be honest with you, with the college basketball scene.
No, I feel like Duke has a good solid 3-4 players that they can really rely on. They played well, but nothing like where they've been have been blowing out people every game. They beat North Carolina. I think we beat them one game, then they beat us the second game, and they blew us out the second game. But the first game was close. When North Carolina had no business playing against them like that. So yeah, they definitely show that they're vulnerable and shaky at times, which scares me. And then, especially with Coop going down with the injury, that really scares me. They'll be fine for the first 2 rounds, but once they get to yeah, that Sweet 16, Elite Eight, they're gonna need him back for sure. Um, and then one thing to add too is just like this is why I love March Madness is because, Andrea, I think you talked about it too. Is like it just takes one game, it takes one shot. You know what I mean? And your season's over. So you could have the best team, but if you make one or two defensive, offensive mistakes, it's game over. You're going home. So we've seen it happen with Zion and RJ Barrett and that crazy team that they had at Duke. We've seen it with multiple stars in the league now. So that's just what I love about man's basketball. You get to really see the heroes, and a lot of this will really make their draft case in the league, going to the league. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It's going to be fun.
Sir.
Indeed. Indeed.
Cool. So yeah, tap in. Let us know, guys. Send us some message. Let us know at least your final four with your champion. Throw some Cinderellas in there, and then we'll tap base every week and go over it. So let us know what you guys are thinking.
Was I going to touch on some baseball or no?
Ooh, yes. Are you ready?
I don't have a whole segment, but I'm just going to touch on a little bit. Okay. So just wanted to point out some rookies to look forward to. We got about a week till opening day, if that. It might be starting like this in the next couple of days. Tay, you're on mute because I couldn't hear that clap.
Oh yes. I want to hear from the MLB god.
No, just some rookies to look out for. You got Kobe Mayo from the Orioles. He's a big old third baseman, first baseman, 6'4", 230, I believe, some of that nature. He hits bombs. So we'll see how he comes along. Jason Dominguez for the Yankees. He's known as the Martian. The Yankees every few years have this top prospect that's supposed to be so good. We'll see how he does. He's been up and down the last few years for the Yankees, but like officially a rookie this year, I believe. You got like Dylan Cruz, Jacob Wilson for some other hitters, and then Matt Shaw for the Cubs. Jacob Wilson is for the Athletics, and Dylan Cruz plays for the Washington Nationals. And then probably the biggest name that might actually break camp and make the big league roster is Roman Anthony for the Boston Red Sox. He's the number one prospect in baseball. Like 5-tool prospect, like fast, can steal bases, has a great glove, power, all of it, contact, all of it. So we'll see. He's supposed to break camp because they have some injuries, so we'll see if he does. You have some pitchers. You have Roki Sasaki that the Dodgers just recently signed out of Japan. He's supposed to be nasty. I think they sent him down to AAA to start the year, but that's just an anomaly. I think he'll be up pitching. You have Rhett Lauder for the Cincinnati Reds, Jackson Jobe for Detroit, and who was my last one? Kumar Rocker for the Texas Rangers. All pitchers to look out for. And then I just want to see some continued success and improvement from Jackson Holiday, see how he develops. And then for some guys that are like 2-3 years deep, but like superstars of the game, I want to see if they just continue to go or if they start to backtrack, see how their development goes. You got like Gunnar Henderson, Corbin Carroll, Julio Rodriguez, and I think there was one other person, Paul Skeens, Ellie De La Cruz. These guys are, I mean, baseball's in a good spot, you guys. Like if you care to pay attention and watch, like there's some athletic players, some like fun, interesting players to watch. It's worth it.
Nice. And you said the Red Sox are the number one draft pick next year?
No, the Red Sox have the number one prospect in baseball.
Prospect. Okay. Gotcha.
It's supposed to be the guy. It's supposed to be him.
Nice. And the Martian, you said, right?
And then the Martian for the Yankees. So yeah, and Dodgers have a pitcher. So yeah, Mariners have a lot of good young players, but they don't have like that guy like these other teams do. But they have like probably like 6 good prospects.
two
So.
things. One, going back to the M's, are they actually starting to invest now and spend their money, or are they still kind of holding on, not really investing too much? Like, what's your thoughts around that one, Dre?
No, so I'm you ask any Mariners fan, anybody that pays attention, we're all pissed the fuck off at ownership, to
Yeah,
be
for
quite honest
years,
with you.
right?
I just had to be blunt there. Terrible. It's awful. They're not spending any money. They
Yep.
definitely could have. We have Julio, we have Cal, we have JP, we have one of the best pitching staffs. Granted, yes, you have to pay these guys, and I'd like to keep these guys, right? Like most of these guys anyway, Julio, Cal, and all these pitchers and a few others, I'd like to keep them, pay them, make sure you pay them. But there's room to pay some other people too. Baseball doesn't have a salary cap like that, so
Mm.
it's all dependent on how much you want to spend as an organization. And they're over here pocketing money because we still support them. We still go to games. They're good, and hear me out. Like there's a coin on that. There's a coin on that. So there's a heads that they're just pissed off. Fans just pissed off. No money's being spent. Yada yada yada. You got to contribute to this team to try and win a championship with what you have. There's another side to that where growing up, we haven't done anything in my lifetime. Truly, we have
Yeah.
a couple little bright spots, but we haven't actually done anything, right?
Yep.
There's also been times where we've went out and spent money. Nelson Cruz, Robinson Cano, and a few others
For sure.
in that little era. You go backtrack about a 5 to 10 years prior to that, you went out and got Adrian Beltre, Richie Sexton, and a few others. And it just hasn't worked. You've been good in those times. When you went and did that, when you went and spent money, you were semi-good. You won 80, 85 games, something like that. You were decent. And then those other years where you didn't have those guys, you were bad. You got good draft picks. You've reflipped your team. I like what they've done over the last 3 or 4 years. They weren't even supposed to be good, and they're winning 85 to 90 games. They're being consistently successful. And if you can do that for another 10 years, I'll take that. Like getting to the playoffs 4 or 5 of
Yeah.
those times out of the 10, take it
Yeah.
all. Like, but you also at some point have to augment your team to win a championship. And if you're already 3 or 4 years early, why don't you do it now? Why not? And they're
For
not
sure.
doing really anything. So I appreciate the success. I appreciate the continued success. Like if we keep, flirting with playoffs and flirting with the division every year, that's nice. Like it's better than being a bottom of the barrel team. That's for sure. But
Yeah. Yeah.
you start to get your hopes up. You think you have a championship type team, and then they don't go spend the money. They don't augment the team, and you're just hopeful at that point. And that's how we are every year. It's just hopeful. So.
Yeah, it always seems like we do pretty well. Like again, I'm not a guru at all, but like from watching, it always seems like we do pretty good till the All-Star, and then for some reason we just tank it, dude. Like something
Well,
happens always that All-Star break, and we just tank,
it's been
So
a little bit of that, a little bit of both. Like where we do decent till the All-Star, we do a little tanking, and then towards the end we actually play well and like kind of get back into the mix of things because we could do that all season and we just don't. But
yeah.
yeah.
One other thing too, I don't know if you watched it. I've been looking on Netflix, and I love documentaries. And the Red Sox had a documentary. It was called "The Comeback."
Mm,
2004 Boston Red Sox. If you haven't
hmm
watched that, I'm not a baseball fan, and like I enjoyed that. Growing up, it was always like New York and the Yankees and Red Sox all the time. Like, so it was kind of fun to be brought back to that to my childhood. And there's a lot of things I didn't know. Like the GM was super young when he, stepped into that position, and just watching those players join him and the franchise really kind of take that step above the Yankees for a little bit was very interesting. So I don't know if you've seen that, Dre, but it was a dope
Oh
documentary.
no, my cousin, Sean. Shout out Sean. His dad,
Ooh,
R.I.P. Uncle Sean. But Uncle Sean was a big Boston Red Sox fan, so we were young, but we were watching those games against the. I remember those clear as day. Yes,
yeah, like
they had a
Manny,
huge
Coffee.
comeback. They had like Johnny Damon, I believe, Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, I believe, still at the
Yeah,
time. Yeah, so
yeah,
crazy teams. That baseball was fun then. Baseball still is fun. Like I'm saying, there was a few down years there, but I think it's back on the rise. Like I think if you pay attention and you know the people and you especially with the Cards guys. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
makes it a little easier.
Hey, ever since we lost the Sonics, I'm like, whatever team we got, whether it's the Storm or the Sounders,
Kraken.
like Kraken, like I love them. I'm for it.
Fair enough.
Oh, Joe, muted.
Hello? I think that's all we had was the bracketology, some baseball.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
there you go, Joe.
Yeah. I had the mic on the computer.
Tay, did you have any thoughts on NFL free agency recap? We went over that yesterday. We probably won't dive in too much, but did you have anything?
I'll make it quick. It might be ugly, but I like what the Seahawks are doing. Like it might be ugly if you're not a Seattle, Seahawks fan, but come back home, and Sam Darnold, we know he could sling that thing, man. So I really like what Seattle's doing. Oh yeah, Joe, let me read over that just real quick.
Yeah, this is top from bottom. So we got Milton, Sam Darnold,
Yes.
Will Fries. So yeah, what are your thoughts on these right here?
Hey, Milton got paid. I didn't even notice.
Somebody
that.
had to, bro.
Nuts,
Hey,
dude. Dang. Okay.
You
no,
will.
Sam.
All right. You will know who he is
Okay,
by
yeah.
the end of next year.
Okay.
All right. I'm cutting the best promo right now. You hear me? So,
Joe, you didn't don't lie. Don't lie now. You didn't even.
hey, I
want him.
watched
We
the
were
fucking
talking. You
Super
didn't
Bowl. I
want
saw
him.
Patrick Mahomes running for his fucking life. Milton Williams had 2 sacks in that bitch. All right. I'll bet that piece.
Because Mr. Jalen Carter opened up the whole entire line for him to get through.
All right.
Hey, well,
Good.
Congratulations,
He doesn't have that
young
much
man.
tread on his body, so he'll be straight.
He'll be straight.
Congratulations to Milton, though. Got the bag.
Yeah.
No, again, yeah, Sam Darnold was dope. One that I seen, I think Josh Sweat. That's a huge signing for the Cardinals. They really needed that at the defensive line. They were looking for a few guys. So I'm really glad they went and got Josh Sweat. I think that's a huge pickup. Let's see. Yeah, another one I was looking at. Oh, DJ Reed, another. I believe a few podcasts ago I was talking about him. One of my favorite cornerbacks. Again, maybe a little bias, since he was in Seattle, but he's a dog. Like he is savage, and I really like that fit at the Lions. I think he's going to do a great job there. Joe, I think this one you love. You are a huge Matt Stafford fan, so Devontae Adams there. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Do you think that's going to gel pretty well, or is Devontae kind of out of his prime? Like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking with that?
Excuse me. Yeah, me and Dre were talking about this, and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, they pretty much just said, hey, Cooper Kupp, we don't want to pay a 32-year-old aging receiver $30 million. The very next day, Devontae Adams gets a call. Come on down. Granted, he's I guess has less surgeries. And maybe he can get a little bit more separation. I think it's going to be great. Obviously, it's Sean McVay's offense. I don't think they're gonna miss a beat. If anything, this is just, if you guys are back end of the round in your fantasy drafts, draft Puka Nacua. Like I did, made the mistake of drafting him in round 2 of last year, but I didn't regret it. My team did, but my team hurt. But he's just a really good player. He always gets open, works hard. He's just one of my favorite receivers, and I'm hopefully going to be able to take him next year in fantasy as well. I think he's going to have a really big year next year with the addition of Devontae Adams.
Yeah, it's going to open a lot of field up for him, 100%.
Oh, yeah. And he can learn just like more footwork and all that good stuff, Like Devontae has like some of the best footwork we've ever seen. So super excited about that.
Especially like off the line too, just getting that separation, that first step. Yeah, 100%.
And he'll lay his body out for like any catch. Puka makes incredible catches. Devontae makes incredible. He could be their new red zone threat. Like say Kyron can't get into the end zone. Yeah,
Yes.
that's something to keep an eye on too. Hopefully, Kyron can his trajectory can keep on going up. I don't want it to just like have it peaked right here, and and then now he's just gonna go down. But
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, I know you guys don't want to hear
I
it
mean, I
because you
don't want
guys
to
are
hear
Seahawks
anything good
fans.
about them,
Yeah,
but
that's what I was
No,
gonna
heck
say.
no.
They're gonna be good. So I hate to
Yeah.
break it to you.
We have Sam Darnold and Cooper Cup. What do you mean, Joe?
Wait,
Like, I'm joking.
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Did you
top
talk
five.
about Sam Darnold?
Oh, earlier, yeah, I was just like,
Yeah.
I think it's a great pickup. He could sling the rock, so I'm curious to see what he could do. But again, like the last podcast, I think I mentioned JJ like really helped him. So I don't think he's gonna have as great of a season, but it'll be interesting to see what he does and can he earn what we're paying him. Probably not, but it'll be fun. Two on here that I see. I know I'm on the opposite side than you guys on this, but Justin Fields in New York, I think it's either gonna be very good or very bad. This is gonna be
Yeah, you're
this
hedging
is
your bet right there, bud.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I can only go one of
Yeah,
two
no
ways.
shit.
I'm going with very good, but I'm just putting a disclaimer out
Optimistic.
there. Yeah, yeah.
Optimistic,
Yes. If it goes bad, just say I said it would. you know.
Yeah,
Just
no, yeah.
I said,
I don't think it's gonna go good, man. I really don't.
The only reason why I kind of like that is I think the Jets needed an offense to kind of open them up. And like time has shown that it's very hard to play against a running quarterback, So, the Jets, I feel like they had Aaron Rodgers. He is mostly in the pocket. Even going back to Sam Darnold, yes, he could run, but he's mainly a pocket quarterback. So I'm just very interested to see how running quarterback is going to run in the Jets offense with Garrett Wilson, with you know with Allen in the back and man, why does he slip my mind? Other running back, star running back,
Braylon Allen and Brees Hall.
Brees Hall, yes,
Mhm.
with Brees Hall as well too. So I'm curious to see how they're going to do there. But again, as we know, whoever goes to the Jets ends their career there. So it will be very interesting.
Yeah.
And then what? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I agree. I think, except I will say I don't think Justin Fields is gonna do good next year. I don't know.
I already
They're
touched
gonna,
yesterday. I'm not
yeah.
gonna speak my mind.
Wait, Dre,
um,
Dolphins or Jets? Who finishes with the better record?
Jets.
ah,
All right,
interesting.
we'll put that on the board.
Yeah, I'd have to go with
I
Dolphins.
think Dolphins.
Yeah,
And
because they
it's
still got Cheetah,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and Tua over. Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know, man. Tua's dog shit, but I like the guy. Never met him, but noodle arm. I don't know. He gets hurt too much. I'm just a hater. It's the older I get, I guess. So,
I'm gonna go Jets.
One person on this list, I'm gonna say, came a few years too late, but DeMarcus Lawrence on the Seahawks. Yeah, I like that pick. The age does scare me, but I think he'll be a good locker room guy, for sure, to say the least. And yeah, I mean he's just a dog, as we know, on the defensive line, so on the edge. So yeah, curious to see how he's gonna do. But I thought that was a good pickup as well. We need somebody on that D line to help and accommodate the young guys. So yeah, I like that pickup as well for the Hawks.
Yes, sir. I was just gonna say somebody said fantasy and it reminded me. I'm just gonna real quick, if you guys don't mind, I was gonna share my fantasy baseball league with you.
Oh, go ahead.
So keep in mind, team's dog water in most eyes because it's a 16-team league. But then when you retract that to being a 16-team league, I got the best team. Don't tell anybody else.
And sorry, 82 games? How many games? Or
As
no,
far
way
as
more than
in
that, right?
fantasy,
Yeah, how did they do
they're
MLB and fantasy?
so it's weekly, daily, but weekly, right? So a daily accumulation for a weekly accumulation of points. And pitchers pitch and they score a certain amount of points, hitters score daily, all that.
Yep.
And then if you win your week, there's like 16 to 18 weeks, or some of that nature.
That's
And then
not bad.
you win your week basically. But so yeah, I had pick 10 in a 16 team league. Again, I don't think I've done any fantasy with 16 teams. I'm just reiterating that. So I couldn't name you who my catcher is, but we don't really care about that. I got Luke Raley from the Mariners. Got this kid from Cincinnati, Matt McClain, Rafael Devers, Willie Adames, Anthony Volpe, JJ Bleday, Garrett Mitchell, Tyler O'Neill, Brian Reynolds, Brent Rooker. I got Ezekiel Tovar, Jordan Lawler on the sneak. And then if you go down to my pitchers, this is where I shine. This is where I like kind of focus. I got the boy Paul Skeens. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, hi. I got Paul Skeens. I got the hometown talent Blake Snell, who plays for the Dodgers now. Probably going to win like 20 games, so that was smart. I got Tyler Glass now. He also plays for the Dodgers. Probably going to win like 20 games. Probably going to be a Cy Young if he doesn't get hurt. Carlos Rodon for the Yankees. You want to get people that play for good teams because if they go out there and they pitch 5-6 innings, they'll get a W, and a W is worth like 15 points. You want that. Yeah, and then that was about it. I got a couple other guys, but pitchers, that's about it.
That's very interesting. Like you said, that probably you have to bake that into your strategy because, yeah, you don't really know when a pitcher is going to sit, right? And how much innings they're going to be out there. Like, it's subject to change a lot, right?
Yeah, there's like a lot of big name guys that like kind of got taken, and it's like, okay, they can go out there and for the first 3 months of the year they may pitch, really well for you, but then they shut them down because they don't want to get their arm hurt again because they just are coming back from Tommy John. So they don't pitch like a full year's worth of work. They won't get you, like a good pitcher can score like 850 to 1,000 points or something or more, and that guy, that name that but he's only going to pitch like 100, 120 innings. He'll score like 500-600 points in those 100, 120 innings because he'll be good, but then they'll just drop him. Or same thing with like a young guy that's coming onto the scene. You have to be careful with them because like same Paul Skeens, for example, if they pitched him too much last year because he was just dominant and he was good, but his arm's young, it's live, but if he goes out there and tries to repeat that or do better, do more, he could hurt himself. So it's scary with the pitchers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Nice. Thanks for that breakdown. You might get us in next year, Dre Day. We might have to do our own little MLB league.
Oh, HOS MLB.
Yeah.
I'll set that one out, fellas. I will not be attending that league.
Basketball, football, we got to do that though. Come on.
Yes,
basketball is even too much, man. That shit's insane.
It is a lot.
It's how I keep up sometimes when I don't get to watch all the time. So that's how I know, at least how I know who's doing good player-wise, individual player-wise.
Mm-hmm. Any last thoughts, fellas?
Nope, just tap in. Give us a share, give us a like, and again, message us. We want to shout you guys out and bring some of your topics into the pod. So again, just let us know what you guys are thinking.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys, thank you again for checking out this bonus episode of Tay's March Madness breakdown. Gave some good insight. Hopefully you guys take some of this knowledge and apply it to your own brackets. Go out there and win some money. Don't really take my picks. Don't take my picks. I was, like I said, I'm not too familiar, Trey. I'm not too familiar with the college basketball.
Leave that.
Yeah, but on that note, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, share. We appreciate you guys. And yeah, looking forward to next week's episode. Give us some topics to discuss. Your favorite teams, controversies in sports, even some hip hop music ish if you want. We could talk about
Pop
the Drake
culture.
The culture.
UNG responding. But all right, guys, that's it for us this week.
Peace.
Peace.